Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Murali Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to be discussing about installing Jenkins on Linux server. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here we have a DevOps 0 to Hero series GitHub repository. In this day 15, I already written the documentation as well, and here you can see that. So first of all, right, before going to install the Jenkins on Amazon Linux 2, we are going to be install the Amazon Linux 2. For that one, first your server should have admin privileges. Okay. Second thing is 2 CPU and 4 GB memory required minimum, and whatever Amazon Linux 2 server, at least 100 GB EBS volume required. Okay, 100 GB EBS volume required. Okay, now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this particular one. Now you can go here. First, I'm going to create the server, launch instances, and here most important thing, guys, please be carefully watch. Okay, and here just I'm giving the Jenkins server. Okay, I have given the name is Jenkins server, and here you can select that Amazon Linux, and here you can select that Amazon Linux 2. That is fine. And then you can come down a little bit. Here we can see that instance type. One of the most important, as I said earlier, we required at least 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. If you go with T2.micro, right, 1 CPU and 1 GB memory only, so it may not be support when you are trying to start the Jenkins. It will be the particular Jenkins, it won't be start. Okay. Now here you can go with T2.medium. And here you can see that T2.medium, we have a 2 CPU and 4 GB memory. That is fine. And one more thing, remember, here our practice purpose, we have selected the T2.micro, T2.medium. That is fine. But when it comes to the real time, right, we may have like 16 CPU, 32 GB memory, 64 GB memory, depends on workload. We'll be having that. Okay. Next one, you need to select this your infra VPC. And here, most important thing, guys, here we have a networking, right? Here we have a networking. Usually when you do the practicing, during that time, what we will do, we'll be choose the default VPC. But when it comes to the real time, we always create our Jenkins related tools in under infra VPC only. I already created the infra VPC. Select this one. And here most important, any DevOps tool, we always create under app subnets only. Here you can see that app subnet only will be created. Any DevOps tool, guys, we always create under app subnets only. But our practice purpose, I'm selecting the public subnet. The reason, if you select the app subnet, if you want to be connect this particular server, you require a client VPN, either client VPN or Cisco related, we require to connect the private network. Okay. But our practice purpose, I'm creating the public subnet. Again, I'm repeating in interview level. If you say like I have created the Jenkins in the default VPC and I have created the Jenkins in the public subnet, they immediately know, okay, this person is not working the real time. Okay, this person is not working the real time. Okay, understand, right? And one more thing, remember, if you are not aware how do we create this particular VPC concepts, in our Tech World with Murali website, in this website, I already covered AWS 0 to Hero series. In this particular AWS 0 to Hero series, I already covered VPC related concept. Here you can have a look. Okay, here you can have a look so that you will get some idea how do we create the VPC. Okay. And also here we have a 1 month, 6 months, 1 year plans available. Okay, fine. Now I can come back here, and then here I'm going to, we are going to auto assign public IP. It will create the public IP. That is fine. And create a secret group. And I'm going to create the secret group. The secret group name is Jenkins-SG. You can give any name, guys. Just I'm giving that Jenkins-SG. And here most important, here SSH, if you want to be connect the server. And here we gave that anywhere, that is the 0.0. But in real time, we won't be give the 0.0. We always give the specific CID range. Example, if your organization having the 10 series, we'll give the 10.0.0.0/8. Once you connect the client VPN, then only you can able to access it. Don't say like we are giving that 0.0. If you tell 0.0, they can immediately know, okay, this person is not working the real time. You know, right? Why I'm stress these words, right? Majority of the students, they may not be aware like how we'll be set up in the real time. So that's why I'm repeating multiple times. Okay, fine. Now you can come down, and here, as I said, here we record 100 GB. Our practice purpose, I'm giving that just 50 GB is fine, but usually minimum is 100 GB required. Okay, and here you can select that GP3. Fine. Now you can click the launch instance. Okay. Now I'm launching the instance. It is going to be create the EC2 instance. Wait for a few seconds so that it will be connect. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm in downloads directory. In this particular download directory only we have a PEM file. Now I'm going to connect SSH-i info.pem EC2-user @ and then here we need to give the public IP. You can go here. Usually Linux, it will take within 1 minute if we start that server, guys. Okay. When it comes to the Windows, it will take 4 minutes to come up online, everything. Now you can copy this, select this. You can go here. Now you can connect this particular server. Okay. Now you can give the yes. Now if you see here, it is trying to connect the server. Okay. Fine. Super. Now what is the next one? If you go here, first we need to be installed either Java 11 or Java 17. Here you have to remember, depends on you are going to be install the Jenkins version. It will be decide whether you wanted to install the Java 11 or Java 17. If you see here, if you want to be install the Java 11, we can run this particular command sudo Amazon Linux -extras install Java -openjdk -y. -y means it will automatically install. In case if you want to be install that Java 17, we can run this particular command. Okay. Fine. Now you can go to the Google and here you can type it the particular one. If you go here, Jenkins LTS version download, and here you can see that downloads and deploy. Now you can click this one, and here you can see that LTS version is our version. Jenkins version is 2.504.1. Now it is going to be installed the LTS version only. When you use install command, it will going to install this particular version only. Okay, fine. It will be installed. That is very good. But this whatever this version, which Java version it will support. For that one, if you go here, go to the Google, and here you can type it Jenkins Java support, and here you can see the Java support policy. Just click this one. If you observe here, apart from the 2.479 and more than this particular version, it is supporting Java 11 and 21 only. It means if your Jenkins needs to be run it, you should be install the either Java 17 or 21. Okay, understand that? Understand that? Here it is not updated the latest one. Latest LTS version also it is supporting only Java 17 and 21 only. Okay. Now here you have to remember one thing. Usually in the real time, one of the most important guys, this one. Usually in the real time, we'll be having that Java 8, 11, 17, 21, and also 23 recently came. We'll be having the different Java-based application. Depends on our Java-based applications, we'll be decide which Jenkins version will be using. The reason, if you go with example, I'm going with this particular LTS version, this particular 2.504.1. That is fine. We can install it, it will run. But when it comes to that, your Java 8 applications, Java 11 applications, it may not be work. It may not be work means usually inside the Jenkins will be create the Jenkins jobs. Okay. There will be build the Java 8 application, Java 11 application. It will be throw the error related to compatibility issues. That's why in real time, instead of using LTS version or latest version, what we'll do depends on our Java-based applications. We'll be decide the specific version. Example, in your organization having that Java 11, Java 17, 21 application will be used under this particular version, either 2.346, 340 depends on will be use it. Okay. In case only Java 11, 17 one, we can go with this particular version. It will be support. But if you have any Java 8, it may not be support. And also here you can see that error as well. If you install unsupported Java version, your Jenkins controller will not run. Your Jenkins controller, it won't be running. Okay, understand that? Fine. Now here you can see that. Now what I'm going to do, I wanted to showcase what error will be getting. So for that one, just I'm going to install the Java 11, and I will show you once we install the Jenkins, what error you are seeing, and then we'll be uninstall the Java 11 and we'll be install the Java 17. Okay. And again, I'm repeating, please don't tell in the interview level, we have installed the LTS version. Okay, LTS version means example 2.504.1. Always will be the specific version. Jenkins, especially guys, Jenkins version will be depends on Java version, Java applications, whatever versions you are using in your organization. Okay, clear, right? And again, I'm repeating, especially in the organization level, Java 8, Java 11, Java 17, 21 applications will be there. Whatever Java 8 application, they are trying to upgrade from Java 8 to Java 11. Okay, fine. Now you can enter now. Now if you see here, it is going to be installed the Java 11. Wait for a few seconds. It is going to be installed. Okay, it is going to be installed. Yeah, okay. Everything's fine. I have given the -y, right? It is automatically installed. It won't ask yes or no option. Okay. Now if you see here, Java 11, it's going to be installed. Okay, awesome. Wait for few more seconds. Okay, done. Now you can go ahead and check it whether it is installed or not. Java -hyphen version. Java -hyphen version. If you see here, I have given that Java -hyphen version. It is installing that Java 11. It is installed Java 11. Okay, awesome. Now what is the next step? You can go here. What is the next step? And before going to be install that Jenkins, what you have to do, we need to be install the EPL repository. The reason, usually, if you want to be install that Jenkins, you can use yum install Jenkins-y. If you see here, when I am trying to run this particular yum install Jenkins-y, what is happening? It is showcasing that no packages Jenkins available. The reason, if you go to the etc yum repos.d, yum.repos.d. Usually, right? If you run yum install git, yum install Java, like the yum install git, yum install Java, yum install wget, everything, right? It will be read from this particular repository, Amazon to -co.repo. Example, I'm going to show you for or extras. Okay. And here you can see the base URL, everything depends on this one. It is going to be automatically install that particular git Java example I'm telling. Okay. But when it comes to the Jenkins, we don't have any default. The particular package is available under this particular repository. For that one, what you have to do, you need to be install the EPL repository. You need to be install the EPL repository. Again, I'm repeating here, Jenkins is not available in the default repositories. Default repository is nothing but this one only. Okay. But it is available under EPL repository. For that one, you have to be install the EPL repository. Here you can see that CentOS 7, we can install the EPL repository 9. And when it comes to the Amazon Linux 2, you can use this particular Amazon-Linux-extras, install EPL-y. Here you have to remember, in case if you are using Amazon Linux 2023, by default, it will be there. You don't require to install that EPL repository. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, just copy this one. Now you can go ahead and run this. Amazon Linux 2023, you don't require to install it, guys. Okay. Now, if it is going to be installed the EPL repository, and also I will show you what other things is available. Now, if you see here, EPL repository is installed. Now, you can go here, give the LL command. If you see here under etc m.repos.d, here you can see that EPL.repo is available. If you go ahead and open this one, repo, and here you can see that the particular base URL, everything can able to see it here. Okay. The particular related to Enterprise Linux 7, there are multiple things. Okay. Clear, right? Any questions now? Now, what is the next step? And first of all, we need to enable the Jenkins repository. For that one, what you have to do? You can use this particular command, curl command. First of all, add the Jenkins table repository. For that one, you can use curl -silent -location. And here you can see the pkg.jenkins-cla.org Red Hat stable and Jenkins.repo. Whatever we are going to be do this one, right? It is going to be available under etc m.repos.d Jenkins.repo. Okay, it is going to be download there. Okay. Now you can go here, run this command. Now I did that. And if you see here, Jenkins name, base URL, everything. Now if you give the LL command, right? And here you can see that Jenkins.repo. Okay. If you go and check it, this particular Jenkins.repo under etc/m.repos.d. Okay. Now here you can see that it is available. If you use the m install command, it is going to be download from this particular base URL only. Okay. Fine. Now I can go here. And then next one is we need to import the Jenkins GPG. For that one, you can use sudo rpm -import command. Using this, whatever we have the particular Jenkins.io -2023.k, we are going to be import this one. Just copy this one. Now you can go here. Now you can run this particular command. Yeah, we have imported. Now what is the next command? We can install the Jenkins. Using that m install Jenkins, you can install it. Now you can go here. I'm going to install it. Now you can go back, m install. Now when you use this particular m install, right, what is happen, right? Whatever we have a Jenkins.repo, it will be read that particular repository and it will be download the Jenkins. Now you can give it m install Jenkins, enter, and here it is going to be install the LTS version. Here you have to remember, guys, directly if you use the m install command, it will be install the LTS version. As I said earlier, the LTS version is 2.504.1-1.1. Remember, currently today, this is the version. If you try later, next 1 month or 2 months, right, the LTS version might be changed. Okay, don't confuse on that one. The process is same only. Now you can give the Y. I'm giving that Y means it is going to be installed. The total size is 90 MB. Okay, now it is install the Jenkins as well. Awesome. It is install the Jenkins. How do we check it whether it is installed or not? Jenkins -- version. Now here you can see that if you see here, as I said earlier, I'm going to run this command again. As I said earlier, we are going to be install the latest LTS version. It is supporting only either Java 17 or 21 only. If you see here, more than 2.479 means it will support only Java 17 and 21. But in our case, we have installed the LTS version is 2.504. But in our case, we have installed the Java version is Java 11. That's why it is throwing the error. Running with Java 11 from this particular one, which is older than minimum required version. That is Java 17. Minimum required version is Java 17. Okay. And here you can see that supported Java versions are either Java 17 or 21. Remember, here we install the Java 11, but it is expecting Java 17 and 21. Until you install this particular Java 17 and 21, your Jenkins won't be run it. Your Jenkins won't be run it. Understand, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to uninstall the Java 11 and we will be install the Java 17. For that one, you can go here first command m, tell me m remove command, m remove Java star -5. Now you can enter here. Now it is going to, it is remove the Java 11. Now I'm going to check it whether it is removed or not. Java version. Now if you see here Java, it is no file or directory. Okay. Now you can go here documentation and here you can go up little bit. I'm going to install the Java 17. M install Java 17. I'm going to be install it. Now you can run this command. If you see here, it is going to be install the Java 17. Clear, right? Okay, it is going to be installed. Okay, awesome. Wait for a few seconds. Now what you can do once you install, right, we'll be enable the Jenkins and we'll be start the Jenkins. Okay, now it is done. Now I'm going to check it Java -1 version. Now Java 17 and also I'm checking the Jenkins version. If you give it here, right? 1 second. Oh, Java -1 version, guys. Sorry. Java -1 version. If you give the Java version, right, it is going to be Jenkins -1 version. Now, if you see here, your version is, you can able to see it here. That is 2.504.1. Okay, awesome. You are not seeing any error as well. Clear, right? Now, what you have to do? First, we can enable the service level. Here you have to remember, guys, when you use the m install command, the particular Jenkins service will be default will be there. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do? You can go here, systemctl enable command. What are the uses of enable command? Can you please tell me? Jenkins.service. If someone is restarted this particular server, the particular Jenkins service automatically will be run it. You don't require to log into the server and start the Jenkins. Okay, when you do the systemctl enable. Now you can enter here. If you observe here, our Jenkins, whatever our Jenkins is available under user lib system Jenkins.service. If you go here, user lib system. And here you have to remember one thing, guys. Here we have multiple things. Jenkins. If you see here cat command Jenkins, here you can see that Jenkins related one. Here you have to remember one thing, guys. Usually, if you install any tool, the service is created default when you are installing the tool. That particular configuration is available. That particular service file, .service file, it is available under user lib system. In case if you install customized one, we'll be installing under etc system. If you remember in Tomcat, I have showcased that we have created that service file Tomcat.service, Nexus.service, JFrog, SonarQube.service, right? Everything we have created etc system. That is, we are creating the customized one. But when it comes to that default one, it is available user lib system. Understand, right? Fine. Now we have enabled this one. It means if someone is rebooted, also automatically start the Jenkins. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it here, systemctl status. Jenkins. Just give the Jenkins dot service or Jenkins, whatever. Now you can check it here. Status, it is showcasing that inactive. The reason we haven't started, right? That's why it is showcasing that inactive. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the Jenkins systemctl, start the Jenkins. Okay. Now you can go here, systemctl, start the Jenkins. Now you can enter. If you see here, it is starting the Jenkins. Wait for a few seconds so that it will start. Okay, it is going on. Wait for a few seconds. Yeah, it is started. Now you can check it the status. Systemctl status Jenkins. Now if you see here, Jenkins is running. Awesome. And here you can see that everything. This is that particular default password as well. Okay, everything's fine. Now we have created, we have installed the Jenkins, or we have started. Now we need to access this particular one, right? How do we do? For that one, if you go here, go to that EC2, and here you can copy the public IP. And here, what you have to do, just go here. What is the port number? Jenkins default port number is 8080. Just run this particular command. Now, if you see here, I'm trying to access our Jenkins. I'm trying to access our Jenkins, that is this particular IP address port number. It is not, we are not able to access it. The reason, Jenkins is running well and good, super. But when it comes to that accessing, right, what you have to do, this particular whatever server, go to the security group. Inside the security group, what you have to do, you need to enable the security inbound rule 8080. If you go here, Jenkins-SJ, here we have only one security group inbound rule that is related to SSH. If you see here, SSH only. Now what I'm going to do, edit this one and inbound rule, add rule, and here custom TCP, and here I'm giving that 8080. And here again I'm repeating, our practice purpose I'm giving that anywhere. Usually in real time we'll be give that 10.0.0. Here will be select that custom one. Example here you will be give this like this. Okay, you will give like this, because in case if your organization having the 10 series, you will give like this. Okay, now instead of this one, what I'm doing here, right, I'm giving that anywhere. Our practice purpose we have, because we don't have a client VPN, right, or Cisco. That is the reason you should be accessing. We install the Jenkins in the public. That is the reason we install the Jenkins in the public. You can give that 10 series, or you can give your IP address. My IP also, it will be fine. Anything is fine. Just you can give the my IP also, save rules. Okay, now it is done. Now you can go ahead and access this one. Now if you see here, you are able to access your Jenkins using the IP address port number. Now it is asking to set up. Here you have to remember, when you install the Jenkins using M command, when you are installing the Jenkins using M command, you will be installed the particular Jenkins default path is varlib Jenkins. Varlib Jenkins is the default path for Jenkins when you are installing using M command. In case if you are installing using inside the Tomcat, if you deploy the Jenkins, right, the default path is the particular users dot Jenkins. .Jenkins directory will be there. That is the default directory for Jenkins. If you remember in the Tomcat, I have showcased that install the particular Jenkins, deploying the Jenkins in the Tomcat. The default path, you saw that /root the .Jenkins, right? Similarly, okay. And here, when you again, I'm repeating, when you install the Jenkins using M command, the default path is varlib Jenkins. In case when you install the Jenkins using Docker, the default path is /var /Jenkins_home. This is the path for if you are installing Jenkins using Docker running as a container. When it comes to the Docker concept, I will show you how do we do that one as well. Okay. And here default password will be there, varlib Jenkins secrets, and then initial admin password. Just copy this one. You can go here. You can run this particular command, cat command. As I said, varlib Jenkins is the default path and secrets directory is there. And then there we have an initial password. Here you can see that. Just copy this particular initial password. You can go here and you can paste here. Okay, now you can click the next button. And then here you can see that very most important, whether you wanted to be install suggested plugins or whether you wanted to select the whatever you wanted to install the specific plugins. Highly recommend select the install suggested plugins. It will be installed the few of the plugins. Just double click that one. It is going to be installed all the suggested plugins. Okay, as I said, Jenkins is totally based on plugins based only, right? So it is going to be installed the few of the plugins. Example, Jenkins Git plugin, LDAP plugin, email extension plugin, mailer. Okay, everything we have Gradle, credentials binding, build timeout, there are multiple default few of the things. And one more thing here, we usually in real time we go with the continue as admin, and then we'll be set up, we'll be integrated with Active Directory to the particular Jenkins. But initially, our practice purpose, what I'm doing here, right? I'm creating a user. Okay, I'm creating the user Murali. I'm giving the password as well, and username is Murali the Reddy. Okay, and then email ID is techworldwithmurali, techworldwithmurali@gmail.com. Okay, techworldwithmurali@gmail.com. Again, I'm repeating our practice purpose I am creating here, but later I will show you how do we integrate with the Active Directory as well, so that we'll get some idea. Now we can give the save and continue. Now if you see here, it is fine. And here you can see the Jenkins URL, IP address colon port number. Now you can give the save and finish. Now you can click the start Jenkins. Okay, super. Now Jenkins is installed. Awesome. And here you can see that my name, and here you can see that everything. Fine. Later video, I will show you, explain each and everything. Now here you have to remember one thing, guys. As I said, if you install the Jenkins using M command, default path is varlib Jenkins. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to that particular path. I'm in the CLI. You can go here, varlib Jenkins. And here you can see that I'm in the varlib Jenkins. Here you can give the LL command. Here we have a config.xml file, jobs, logs, plugins, secrets, updates, user content, user. There are multiple things, guys. We can go with one by one. First of all, go to the config.xml file. You can go to the config.xml file, VAM config.xml file. And here you can see that what is the version of the particular Jenkins. And here you can see the number of executors. Number of executors is nothing but example, at a time, how many builds you can run this particular Jenkins server. Example, in the Jenkins server, in this particular Jenkins, we have created the 3 jobs. 3 jobs you are trying to run same time. What is happening, right? Number of executors here, we mentioned the 2. It means 2 jobs will be run. 1 job will be waiting state. Okay. Once previous job is completed, another job will be run. Okay. And next thing is use security, this one true. In case if you forgot the admin password, if you want to be reset the password, right, what you can do, will be use this particular use security, will be mentioned that false, and then we'll be restart the Jenkins and we can reset the password as well. Later, I will show you that particular process as well. How do we do that? And also here you can see that working dir directory, as I said, default Jenkins path is varlib Jenkins. Working dir Jenkins underscore home is nothing but that is the path varlib Jenkins. Inside the varlib Jenkins, we have a workspace, and the item is nothing but job. Remember, job, item, project, 3 same only. Okay, we can call it as item, we can call it as a job, we can call it as a project as well. Okay, anything. Highly recommend professional way is job only, Jenkins job. Can you please provide the Jenkins job if someone will ask? Okay, fine, right? And here you can see that the particular build directory, item directory, the particular one builds whatever we have, everything. And this is the file. And apart from this, we won't be touch anything. And then go to the jobs. If you see here, go to the jobs here. And here you can see that LL command. Currently, we don't have any jobs. Currently, we don't have any jobs. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the Jenkins, and here I'm in the here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the sample job. Okay, I'm in the jobs directory. Now, if you create the job here, example, I'm going to create here new item. Okay, and here I'm giving that sample -project. Example, guys, I'm giving that sample -project, and here I'm selecting that freestyle job. Now you can click the OK. Later we can discuss what are the options available, everything. Just I'm going to showcase if you create the job, where exactly it will be stored. Okay, apply, save it. Okay, now we have created this one. If you go here, if you give the LL command, and here you can see that whatever you have created the Jenkins job, again I'm repeating, whatever you have created the Jenkins jobs here, the particular Jenkins jobs will be stored under jobs directory. Understand that? Under jobs directory. Any questions now? If you go here, sample project here, I can give the LL command. Here we have a builds and config.xml, everything. Okay. And builds, if you want to see the builds number, you can see it here. Clear, right? Any questions? Currently, we don't have anything. That's why it is showcasing the builds is empty only, because we haven't built anything, right? That's why. Okay. Fine. Now I can go back. Okay. Now you can go here, LL command, and coming to the logs. If you want to see the logs here, if you want to see the logs, you can go here and check it here. If you see here, currently we don't have any logs except this health checker.log. If we go here, and here you can see that everything looks good. We don't see any issues as well. Okay, disk space also, everything's fine. Plugins, temporary space, everything we can see it here. Everything looks good. Okay, if you want to be check the logs, you can check it here. Okay, now you can come back once, and here you can see that plugins. Plugins, as I said, right? If you go here, plugins, here you can see that all the plugins. If you remember, we have when we were installing during that time, we have given that suggested plugins, right? Those plugins we can see it here. The plugins extension is .jpa, guys. .jpa. Okay, as such slaves, there are multiple things here. You can see that. In case if you want to be mentioned any plugin here, right? What you can do, you can come here. You can paste the particular .jpa plugin here directly. Okay, but before going to do, you have to take the backup. Sometimes it may crash your Jenkins. Okay, clear. Now I can go here. The Jenkins extension is .jpa. But when it comes to the real time, we may change that. Depends on our requirement. We'll be install Jenkins the particular Jenkins plugin from Jenkins GUI. In case if it is installing the latest version, if you want to install a specific version, what you can do, you can copy the particular specific version here. Okay, and then secrets. Secrets I already said, right? Inside the secrets only we have a initial admin password. Remember, once you set the credentials, the particular whatever we have initial admin password, it won't be available. It is automatically delete once you set up the password. Okay, and here you can see that updates. You can see the updates as well. If you have any updates here, you can see it here. Okay, now you can back, and here here you can see the users count. Here we can see that if you have any users, here we can find out the particular users, or else you can go to the users as well. Just go to the users, and here you can see that specific users. Example, we have a Murali user, right? Here you can see that Murali user. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now here you can see the LL command. Okay, this is fine. Now here most important, guys. Now I'm going to run this job. Bill now, if you see here, bill now, you click the bill now, right? What will happen? It will create the one bill number, and here you can see the bill number. The particular bill related information, if you give the LL command, here you can see that it will create the workspace. If you have any Jenkins job, if you run the bill, what will happen here? It will create the workspace directory. If you go here, workspace directory, inside the workspace directory, we have a job name. Inside the job name, we have a builds related one. Currently, what will happen? Currently, we don't have any information because this particular Jenkins job is empty one, right? That's why here. In case if this particular Jenkins job, we have configured that clone the repository, build the code. Okay, what will happen? Right? The particular clone the repository, whatever repository, right? Everything can able to see it here under workspace sample project. It will be available. Okay, if you're running second time, right? Existing one will be deleted. If you have any changes, new data will be downloaded here in the under sample project. Example job is sample project. Understand that? Any questions now? And here you have to remember one thing. Very, very rare cases will we use the Jenkins CLI. We always use the Jenkins GUI only. 99% we always use the Jenkins GUI until unless if you want to be start the Jenkins, if you want to stop the Jenkins. Okay, if you want to check that the bills is how many bills we have. Okay, if you want to check the workspace, it is up to date. I mean, whatever we have a code, right? Whether it is up to date or not inside the under workspaces, we can check it. Apart from that, we won't be used much. And one of the most important, usually in real time, we won't be use this particular IP address colon port number. IP address colon port number. First thing, just copy this one. I'm going to explain here. In real time, we won't be use IP address colon port number. We always use the domain name. Example, if you are working in techworldwithmurali company, your URL will be jenkins.techworldwithmurali.com. Okay, we'll be use this particular Jenkins one. Here you have to remember we always use the HTTPS only. More secure we'll be using. Here two things, guys. One is we won't be use this part IP address colon port number, and also we won't be use HTTP. It is insecure. We always use the HTTPS only. Example will be used like this. Jenkins.techworldwithmurali.com or techworldwithmurali.in, whatever, depends on. Okay, I will also show you how do we access using a DNS name instead of using the IP address. This is the one thing you understood, right? Second point, in Jenkins, we won't be installing the public subnet, guys. We always install in the private subnet only. Okay. And one of the most important, whether you really worked or not, whether you really worked or not in the real time, they can easy to know asking this question. Hey, Murali, where did you install the Jenkins? How do you access your Jenkins? Hey, I have installed the Jenkins in the EC2 instance. Okay, perfect. How do you access in the particular one? I'm accessing using IP address colon port number. Immediately they know that, okay, this person is not working in the real time. Because when you are practicing, when you are watching any videos, right, usually you will be, you 99% you saw that accessing using IP address colon port number. That is a practice purpose, fine. You can access using IP address colon port number. If you are accessing using HTTP instead of HTTP, that is fine. But when it comes to the real time, we always use the DNS name only. We always use the DNS name only. Okay, understand that? That is the one thing. Second thing, they will ask the question, how do you accessing? If you say like I'm using IP address colon port number or I'm accessing using HTTP, they can easy to know, okay, this person is not working the real time. Sorry guys, sorry to say multiple times. The reason, right, majority of the people, they may not be aware how accessing in real time. So they may think like we are practicing using IP address colon port number will be in real time also same process. No, we always accessing using DNS name only. Later sometime I will show you how do we accessing using DNS name, everything. Don't worry on that one. But you have to be careful on this particular 2 points. Okay, clear, right? Now you understood, right? If you go to the documentation, we did this one and we have installed this particular one and we have selected the suggested plugins and we have installed the Jenkins URL and also we are accessing using Jenkins IP address colon port number. You can also have a look this documentation. I have mentioned everything in detail, this particular documentation, so that you will get some idea. Still, any questions now? Still, if you have any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about accessing the Jenkins using DNS name. DNS name is nothing but example jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Instead of accessing IP address colon port number, what we can do, as I said earlier, we always go with the DNS. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, if you see here we have a EC2 instance. In this particular EC2 instance, we already installed, and also I'm able to access our Jenkins using the particular IP address colon port number. Now what you have to do, instead of accessing this one, we can access using DNS name. Example jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Okay, how do we do? Let's see. For that one, I already written the documentation in the DevOps 0 to Hero series, day 15. And here you can see that accessing Jenkins using DNS name. So here you have to remember, guys, in real time, we always use the DNS name only, accessing the Jenkins. Not only Jenkins, guys, any tool, Nexus, JFrog, SonarCube, any tool, right? We always accessing using DNS name only instead of accessing IP address colon port number. Okay, first of all, what you have to do, right? If you want to be set up that DNS name, first you need to be create the route 53 and also you need to be create the ACM as well, because we wanted to access using HTTPS, right? So instead of accessing IP address colon port number, we need to access using DNS name, right? So for that one, first we need to create the route 53 hosted zone, and then we need to create the ACM as well. If you go here, I'm going to that AWS, and here I'm typing the route 53. Here you can go with this particular route 53, and here I already created the hosted zone, that is a techworldwithmurali.in. Let me show you that. In left side you can check it. And here you can see the techworldwithmurali.in. I have created the public one. Okay, I have created the public one, and here we have created, and also I have created the ACM as well. ACM is related to the particular techworldwithmurali.in, start.techworldwithmurali.in. And you may ask question, Murali, how do you create this one? If you are not aware, in our TechWorld with Murali website, in the AWS course, I already covered how do we create the route 53 and also how do we create the host zone as well. Sorry, how do we create the Route 53 hosted zone, and also how do we create the ACM as well. Okay, these two are most important, guys, because we wanted to access DNS name instead of IP address, right? That's why we required the hosted zone. And here I have created the public hosted zone. Here I have created the public hosted zone. In case if you want to be created within the VPC, we can create the private hosted zone as well. Okay, fine. Now you understood, right? Fine. What you have to do? Next step, we can go to the documentation. First, we need to create the target group. If you remember, if you want to be deploy application, if this application is running in the EC2 instance, if you want to be integrated with LB, right? What you have to do? First, you need to be create the target group. There, we need to attach the particular application EC2 instance. Okay, and also you have to provide the health check path as well. And if you see here, I'm going to create the target group, and I'm going to associate the particular EC2 instance, whatever running the EC2 instance, right? I'm going to associate, and then we are using the port number is 8080. The port number is 8080. Okay, and here when we create the target group, it will ask that what is the health check path. Health check path is /login. Again, I'm repeating, guys, this ALB target group and Route 53 ACM, everything I have covered in the AWS 0 to Hero series. Please have a look so that you will get some idea. Okay, fine. Now you can go here. First of all, we need to be create that target group, and EC2 instance all are running. Now you can come down a little bit. If you see here, target group, we have click this target group, and then here we need to give the we need to create the target group. Just give the create a target group, and here whether you want to choose the target group type is instance or IP address. Usually 99% will be use the instances only. Just select the instances, and then you can here we have other options as well, guys. IP addresses, Lambda function, application load balancer, and here I'm giving that Jenkins -TG. TG is nothing but target group. And then here most important protocol, whether it is HTTP or HTTPS, TCP, TLS, UDP, this one TCP, UDP. Okay, remember, for application load balancer will be create HTTP and HTTPS only. HTTP, if you want to be access your application HTTP, and HTTPS, if you want to be access application HTTPS, you can give it here. Here you have to remember, initially you can give the HTTP and give the 80. When we inside the load balancer target groups, okay, what we can do, right? We have a listeners option. There we can add the HTTPS as well. Okay, now I have given that 80 only, and the IPv4 only will be using. And here most important, wherever your server is application is running, example our Jenkins is running, right? Same VPC only you have to be create. And also here, whether it's HTTP1 or HTTP2, just select HTTP1 only. And here most important, guys, health check path. Usually here we have HTTP, HTTPS. Select the HTTP, and here you need to provide the health check path of the particular Jenkins. Here you have to remember Jenkins health check path is /login. What is that? Jenkins health check path is /login. Just you can give the /login. Okay, understand, right? Now you can check the advanced health check settings. You can keep it same. You don't require to change anything. Just click next. Okay, now here is most important, whether you wanted to attach the particular EC2 instance to this particular target group, or you can directly integrate with auto scaling group. But in our case, right, we have a one EC2 instance. There we have installed the Jenkins. I'm going to attach this particular one. Attach this one, and then here most important port number. What is the port number? Jenkins port number 8080. Now you can click here, include as pending below, and if you see here it is attached. Now you can create the target group. Now if you observe here, target group is creating. Now it is created the target group, and here you can see the target type, protocol, and HTTP protocol version, VPC, IPv4, whether it is associated to load balancer or not, and target total targets, how many healthy, unhealthy, unused one, initial one, training one. Training means it is deleting. Okay, and here you can see the targets. Here we can see that how many targets we have. Currently we have attached only one EC2 instance, right? That's why here we are seeing that instance ID, name, port number, zone, health check. And if you observe here it is showcasing that health check status details. Target group is not configured to receive traffic from the load balancer. Just we have created the target group, but we haven't attached this particular target group the load balancer. That's why the traffic is not coming to this particular target group. That's why it is showcasing here. Later sometime I will create the load balancer and we can attach that. And here you can see the monitoring, and this particular monitoring we can see that TGW related one, unhealthy host, healthy one, unhealthy host average, okay, unhealthy host average, target response request, everything can able to see it here. Target 500, 400, everything. Clear, right? Any questions now? Now, in case if you want to be change the health check path, currently we mentioned that health check path is /login, right? In case if you want to be change it, you can edit this one and you can change this particular one. And here, if you see here, health check threshold, the 5 consists of both health check consecutive health check success, and if you get 2 times right unhealthy, it is considered as the particular instance is unhealthy. Timeout is 5 seconds, interval is every 30 seconds, success code is 200. Clear, right? Fine. Attributes you can go here. In case if you want to be change the attributes here, you can do that. Sticky session, if you want to be enable it, you can do that one. Load balancer algorithm by default is round robin only, guys. In case if you want to be change it, you can do that one. Fine. Now clear, right, this part? Now you can go here. Step 1 is completed. Now what you have to do? We need to go to the step 2. Usually, guys, in real time, as I said, any DevOps tools will be created in the internal only. But our practice purpose, I'm going to create in the public one. So what you have to do? We need to create the ALB public load balancer. If you see here, create the internal ALB. Usually in the real time process, that's why I have mentioned here. But when it comes to that practice purpose, okay, we are going to do the practice, right? For that one, what we have to do, we can create the application load balancer internet facing. Again, I'm repeating, in real time, we always create the internal only. Okay, now you can go here and then can come down, go to the load balancers, and then create a load balancer. And then here, most important, which type of load balancer you are going to create, whether application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer, and also we have a classic load balancer. It is going to be duplicate as well later sometime. Okay, now I'm going to create the application load balancer. Click this application load balancer, and here I'm going to give that Jenkins ALB. Okay, Jenkins ALB. And here, most important, in real time we always create the internal only, but our practice purpose, I'm going to create the internet facing and IPv4 only. If you want to select the dual stack and IPv4, you can select here, but IPv4 only. Okay, and then here, most important, VPC, just select this one. I'm selecting the VPC, that is the infra VPC. Again, I'm repeating here as well. Wherever you created the application, in the same VPC only, you have to create the load balancer as well. Here, application is nothing but Jenkins, guys, example, okay? And here you can select here. And here, most important, when you create the application load balancer, when you're creating the application load balancer, you always create your application load balancer that to internet facing. You always create the particular load balancer in the public subnets only. Okay, if it is internet facing, you have to create in the public subnet. Select the public subnet, and then you can go here. And then here I'm selecting the public subnet 1B. Okay, and here, most important, guys, we need to create the security group, and we need to attach that particular security group to this particular load balancer. Now you can go to the create a security group. I'm going to create the security group, and here I'm giving that Jenkins, go up little bit, Jenkins ALB SC. Okay, and then here you can give the description as well. And then here I'm going to select that infra VPC, because in the same VPC only, right, we are going to create the load balancer as well. And here, most important, guys, one of the most important, whether you really worked or not real time, they immediately know him. Here, when you create the application load balancer internet facing, okay, that is application load balancer, you can give it, you can enable both HTTP and HTTPS. If you want to be access your application HTTP and HTTPS, you have to give it on the custom port number. Here, most important, if you are creating application load balancer that is internet facing, what you have to do, you need to give the anywhere IPv4, that is 0.0. And you may ask question, Murali, you said in the security group level, it is not recommended to give that 0.0. Yes, but when it comes to the application load balancer, if you want to be access your application outside of worldwide, example, if you see here, this is a techworldwithmurali.com, right? Anyone can able to access this particular website How they are able to access? Because we have created backend application load balancer. The application load balancer we have created the internet facing. That's why anyone can able to access it. If you create an internal load balancer, you can't access this particular application. Understand, right? Fine. Now if you go here, and here most important, I'm creating the particular one. In case some of the use cases, right, they don't want to be allow worldwide, they wanted to restrict only few of the people. Even though they are creating the application load balancer internet facing, they wanted to create the specific, they wanted to allow only specific users. Specific users means specific IP addresses. Instead of giving this particular one, right, what you can do, they can give that particular example, specific public IP. Example, you can go here, my IP. Okay, example, this guy is one of the client. They wanted to access this particular one, especially this particular configuration will be do in case if you have any what is that APIs. The APIs is internet facing only, but few of the users only can able to access the particular API. Then what you can do, we can give the specific IP address. Okay, their IP address. Okay, but instead of that one, what I'm doing here, right, just I'm giving that anywhere. And in case if you are creating the internal load balancer, that is application internal load balancer, instead of giving 0.0, what we can do, right, we can give the 10.0.0.0/8. Example, your organization, your project is using 10 series entire network. Then what we'll do, right, we'll give the 10.0.0.0/8. So it will cover everything. Anyone can able to access it. Okay, clear, right? Now outbound, you can give the all traffic 0.0. That is fine. It won't be cause any issue. Okay, now here I'm giving that just name also, name, and then here you can give it. Yeah, now you can create the secret group. If you see here, secret group is created. Well and good. Now you can refresh this one. And then here you can go here, select this particular one. And then I'm deleting the default one, guys. Just I'm selecting only Jenkins-LB-SC. And here most important, listener. Here we have a HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, if you select the HTTP, right? If you want to be redirect, if someone is hit that HTTP, if you want to be redirect that HTTP to HTTPS, we can do that. Let us sometime I will show you. First, you can select the HTTP port number 80, and then here most important, you have to select the specific target group. In our case, the target group is this one, right? Jenkins-TZ. Okay. Now, in case if you want to be accessing HTTP as well, we can do that one. Later, sometime I will show you how do we add HTTPS as well. First, I'm giving that HTTP. Okay. Now you can come down. You don't require to do any changes. And here you can review that what you mentioned here. And then you can create the load balancer. Again, I'm repeating. Here I'm creating the internet facing load balancer, our practice purpose. But when it comes to the real time, we always create the internal load balancer only. Again, I'm repeating here, guys. If you say, hey, I have a Jenkins job, the particular Jenkins we have created in the public internet facing, they immediately know, okay, this person is practice. They are not aware of real-time work. Okay, the reason in real time, we always, any DevOps tool, we always accessing internal only, not the internet facing. Now we can create the load balancer. Now if you see here, the load balancer is creating. Usually creating the load balancer, it will take around 2 minutes. And here we can see that meanwhile, what is the load balancer, what is the schema, whether it is internet facing or internal one, and provisioning it is creating, and it will create the hosted zone internally, and which VPC, which subnets we have created, and the load balancer type, and also when it was created, and here you can see the load balancer ARN, and this is the DNS name. You can resolve this particular DNS name. Once you create a right, you can go to the DNS lookup here. Example, I'm going here. In my case, right, I already having the NS lookup. Just to open this one, and then just copy this one. In case if you are not aware what exactly NS lookup, please have a look our Linux course in the Tech World with Murali website. You will get some idea. If you see here, currently I'm resolving this particular one. It is showcasing that unknown cannot find this particular one. The reason still the particular load balancer still is creating, not yet done, right? That's why it is throwing the it will getting that particular one. Okay, and here you can see the listeners rules, and here you can see that 80 on the specific target group. If someone hit that particular URL, right, what will happen, right? It will be accessing using HTTP instead of HTTPS. It will be route the traffic to a specific target group, And if you go and check the target group as well, once you create the load balancer, it will show here healthy one. Wait for a few seconds here. And then you can come down a little bit. Yeah, if you see here, earlier it was showcasing that we haven't attached to the load balancer, the traffic is not routing, right? But now we have attached, right? That's why it is showcasing that target registration in progress. Once the load balancer is created fully, then it will become the active. The particular health check is success. Okay, here. Now you can go here, meanwhile, and then here you can click this particular listeners, and here you can see the default listener. If someone hit this particular one, it will go to this particular target group. Okay, and then here we have attributes as well. If you want to change the attributes, you can do that. And also I will create a later sometime HTTPS as well, so that you will get some idea. And go to the networking mapping, and here you can see that IPv4, what are the subnets we have attached, resource map. This is a recently came. Here you can see that HTTP, how many rules, how many target group, what is the target one, ID, instances, everything you can see it here. Security group, which security group we have attached to this particular load balancer. Monitoring, here we can see that load balancer level monitoring, we can check it here. Remember, default it is every 5 minutes it will be displayed here. How many target response time, request rule, are we getting any 500 errors in the load balance level, 400, ELB 400, target group level, everything can able to see it here. If sometimes, right, we may get that ELB level 500 errors, then what we have to do, we need to enable the logs, and then we access logs for the particular load balancer. We can verify where exactly it is going on. We can easy to find out, and we can inform to respective team in case if it is related to application. If it is related to LB level, in case still if we are not able to resolve, we can reach out to AWS team. They can help us. Okay, and then here you can refresh this. Yeah, if you see here, it is showcasing the active one. And if you go to the target group as well, and here it is showcasing that unhealthy. Okay, it is showcasing that unhealthy. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, meanwhile you can go with this one. And here I'm going to check this NS lookup here. Just again, you can check it here. If you see here, it is resolving. It is resolving this particular load balancer, whatever load balancer, right? It is resolving to this particular IPs. Two IPs is the reason we have attached to two subnets, right? Two subnets, it will create that two subnets, it will attach that, I mean, two subnets, right? It is application load balancer internet facing, right? Each subnet, it will assign the one IP address, dynamic IP. Here you can see that two IPs it is associated. That's why here we can see that two IPs. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now here it is showcasing that health check path is unhealthy. The particular one is 8080. Okay, let me do one thing. Just on deregister means it is going to be delete, guys. Again, I'm going to register this one, and then you can select this one, and here I'm giving the 8080, and then include as pending below, and then you can register this particular one. You can wait for a few seconds so that it will be registered. Usually, right, might be the before creating that load balancer, we have attached the target group, right, during the load balancer creation. So that's why might be it is down. It was showcasing unhealthy. Now we can wait for a few seconds. We can check it. Okay. Usually it will take 1 minute, guys, around. Yeah, the problem with this earlier it was we got request timeout. The reason, if you remember, when you are creating the load balancer, EC2 instance, during that time we have given the security group is my IP address here. If you remember in this 8080, I gave that my IP, right? That's why we are getting the timeout exception. Now I change it to 0.0. Instead of giving the 0.0, you can give that your CAD range as well. That VPC, that is 10.70, that is fine. But if you give the 10.70, you can't able to access your Jenkins. The reason you have to connect to the client VPN. That's why just I have given the, for time being, I have given the 0.0. Okay. Now here you can see the health check path is fine. Now here we the particular DNS also resolving. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to access this particular one. If you see here, now you can enter. Here you have to remember, guys, earlier we were accessing using IP colon port number. Now if you see here, I'm directly using the DNS name of load balancer. DNS name of load balancer. We don't require to give the colon 8080 port number when you're accessing using DNS name. And here I'm accessing, if you see here, Murali, password also I'm entering here, fine. And then if you see here, I'm able to access using this particular load balancer DNS name. Here, if you give this particular URL to someone, very difficult to remember this name, right? That is the one thing. And also if you see here, it is showcasing that insecure. Insecure means it is accessing using HTTPS, not the HTTPS. Okay, it is accessing using HTTP, not the HTTPS. Understand, right? So now instead of accessing, using that load balancer DNS name, what we can do, right? We can accessing using the record name like this. Example, Jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Understand, right? So here you can access using this particular ALB load balancer ID, the particular DNS name. The problem here, very difficult to remember this name, first thing. Second thing is, it is accessing using the HTTP, not the HTTPS. Clear, right? Now what you have to do, in case if you want to be accessing using HTTPS, just copy this particular one, load balancer DNS name. Okay. And before going to do, right, what you have to do, go to the listeners. Currently it is, we have a 80 only. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the HTTPS as well. Now add listener, and then here most important HTTPS, and then here the HTTPS port number is 443 only. And here most important, when you use the HTTPS, and then forward the target group, you can select your target group. And here you have to remember one thing, guys. This particular target group, whatever target group, right, we can attach only single a load balancer. Single load balancer, we can attach multiple target groups, but single target group, we can attach only single load balancer. Okay. And here you can see HTTP. And most important thing here, when you select your HTTPS, right, you need to attach your certificate. We already having that ACM certificate. If you remember earlier, we discussed, right, select the ACM, and then from ACM only, and the security policy, right, you can select that recommended one. That is fine. And then you can come down a little bit, and then you can add this particular one. Now what happened, right? This one HTTPS, this particular HTTPS, we have attached the DNS name, the particular SSL certificate, techworldwithmurali.in. It means someone is accessing using this particular HTTPS, the particular Jenkins.techworldwithmurali, they can access using HTTPS. The reason we have added the particular HTTPS and attached to the certificate as well. Okay. And one more thing here, you have to remember, in the HTTP, edit this one, go to that add actions. Sorry, select this one, add actions, edit rule. Most important thing, guys, always when you create the HTTP, right, you have to use the redirect URL. The reason, if you select this forward to target group, if someone is hitting that URL, Jenkins.techworldwithmurali, without HTTPS, just they are mentioning http://Jenkins.techworldwithmurali, it won't be redirect to HTTPS. Just it will be accessing still HTTP only. That is the reason we always recommended to redirect to URL, that is HTTPS, and then here you can give the 443. Remaining you don't require. It means what I'm saying, if someone hit that HTTP, example I'm telling here, guys, just copy this one. If someone, example, Murali is hitting that HTTP. Okay. If Murali is hitting the HTTP, when you select this particular in the HTTP 801, if you select that redirect URL, what is happening, right? If someone hit this particular URL, automatically redirect to HTTPS only. It is secure only. Okay. Now you can come down, save changes. Okay, super. Now we have done these particular changes as well. Well and good. Both HTTPS, we have added the listeners as well. Now what you have to do, copy this particular DNS name, go to the Route 53 and go to this particular techworldwithmurali.in, and then you can come down, create a record, and then here it is asking the record name. I'm giving that record name is Jenkins. If you see here, Jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Okay. And here most important, guys, if your load balancer is available in the same account, then what you will do, right? You can select the A record and then alias. And here you need to select that region. What is the region? What is the region? North Virginia, right? Sorry, here, sorry. routing to traffic, right? Here you need to select that application load balancer or classic load balancer. And here you need to select the region, that is US East 1, North Virginia. If you see here, North Virginia, select this one. And here you can see that the particular load balancer. Inside the Route 53, guys, it will showcase that dual stack dot the particular load balancer name. Don't worry on that one, just select this one. Again, I'm repeating, your hoster zone is available in this particular account, and also load balancer also it is available in the same account. You will be select the A record alias. Here you will be select the application or classic load balancer. If you have network load balancer, you select the network load balancer. In our case is application load balancer, right? That's why we have selected. And then here you can select that region and then and dual stack. Dual stack, the particular load balancer we have selected. Simple routing only will be used just to create the record. Create the record. Okay. Now you understood, right? Here I have created the record, that is jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Now what you can do now, I will go to the Google and then here you can type it here Jenkins. If you see here, I'm entering here HTTP. If you see here http://jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Now we can enter. If you see here, it will automatically redirect to HTTPS. If you see here, HTTPS. The reason inside the listener, we have mentioned that HTTP, it should be redirect to 443. 443 means HTTPS, right? If Murali trying to accessing using HTTP, it is automatically redirect to HTTPS. Understand, right? Clear, right? Any questions? One of the most important, guys, we always create the HTTPS only. Okay, we always accessing using HTTPS in real time. We won't be accessing using HTTP. In case someone is hitting the HTTP, it is accessing using HTTP only. Then what you have to do in the load balancer in this particular 80 listener, you have to be modified. Clear, right? Now here you can able to accessing using DNS name https://Jenkins. Now I'm going to accessing Murali user password, this one. Now you can click the sign in. Okay, now if you see here, now I'm able to access our Jenkins using DNS name. Now you understood, right? And you have to tell interview level also, if they ask question, we'll be accessing using DNS name only. That is internal load balancer will be created, not the internet facing. Our practice purpose, I have created the internet facing. That's why I'm able to access it without, I'm able to access our Jenkins without accessing any client VPN or Cisco related one. Clear, right? Any questions now? Any questions? Now you got some idea HTTPS, and also you got some idea how do we set up everything. Again, I'm repeating, you might be a little bit confused how we set up the Route 53 hosted zone load balancer, listeners, everything. Please have a look our TechWorld with Murali AWS Zero to Hero series. In this particular AWS Zero to Hero series, I already covered this particular concept, like how do we create the load balancer, everything. Please have a look so that you will get some idea. Okay, clear, right? And here most important thing, now instead of using load balancer DNS name, we are accessing the particular hosted the particular record name. That is fine. This particular URL, anyone can able to remember. They can able to go on jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. They can access our Jenkins. That is fine. Totally fine. Now, suddenly, if example, I only deleted accidentally, what is happened? If you delete this particular server accidentally, entire data will be lost. Example, this particular Jenkins, we are having that thousands of Jenkins jobs, everything will be lost, right? Then how do we do? There are two options, guys. One is we always frequently will take the backup. That is the one option. Second option, right? We'll be mount this particular, whatever we have varlib Jenkins, right? The particular varlib Jenkins will be mount to either EFS or EBS. Usually in real time, majorly will be use the EFS. The reason EFS, it will be support multi-AG, but EBS, it is support only single AG. In the same region only, it will be support, same region only, same available zone only, it will be support. But EFS is multiple available zones, it will be support, not the regions, guys, multi-available zones. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? I will show you later sometime how do we maintain the persistent data, even though someone is deleted the load balancer, or if someone is deleted the Jenkins inside that. Okay, how do we restore the particular one? It means like once you install the Jenkins, the whatever existing data should be available in the particular one. Okay, how do we do? Everything I will be show you later sometime. Any questions now? Just we can recap what we did. We have created that EC2 instance, we have installed the Jenkins. We are accessing using IP address colon port number, but that is not recommended in the real time. That's why we wanted to accessing using Jenkins, the particular DNS name. Example, jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Remember guys, techworldwithmurali.in is the company postal zone, the particular domain name, jenkins.jenkins. Okay. And one more thing here, any DevOps tool usually will be installed the infra VPC only. We always install the infra VPC. Will be maintain the separate VPC for DevOps tool to install it. The particular DevOps tools will be accessing all the lower environments. Example, dev, test, QA, UAT, pre-prod, prod, everything it will be accessing. Okay. Understand? That is the one thing. Second thing is, instead of accessing using IP address colon port number, we have created the target group, we have created the load balancer, and we have created the Route 53 hosted zone. We have created that ACM as well. And then we have attached the particular target group to the load balancer. Here we have created the application load balancer internet facing. But here you have to remember, in real time, we always create the internal load balancer. But in our case, I have created the internet facing. Okay, internet facing. Real time will be create the internal, but for our practice purpose, we have created the internet facing. Okay, clear, right? And also we set up that we added the particular hosted zone to the particular DNS name, load balancer DNS name to the Route 53, and we are able to accessing using DNS name, that is jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. and also we are accessing using HTTPS. Even someone is hit that HTTP, it is automatically redirect to HTTPS as well. Okay, clear, right? Now we are going to discussing about integrating EFS with Jenkins to maintain the persistent data. Let's see the demo so that we'll get some idea. So here we have a DevOps 0 to Hero series. In the day 5, I already written that documentation step-by-step process. So before going to do this integrating EFS with Jenkins, first we need to understand earlier step. So earlier we have installed the Jenkins, we have access using IP address colon port number, and then later we integrated with DNS name, that is jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. So HTTPS. Okay, in real time also we'll be accessing same process only. Okay, super. Now we are good with this one. Now, example, here we have a server. This particular server someone deleted. What is happened? If someone is deleted the server, whatever installed inside the Jenkins also, it will be gone. And also whatever we created the Jenkins jobs, whatever we did that configuration, everything will be gone. Correct? So instead of that one, if you want to be maintain the persistent data, what we can do? If you want to be maintain the persistent data, what we can do? We can integrate with either EBS or EFS. EBS is nothing but elastic block storage. EFS is nothing but elastic file system. So here, highly recommended to use the EFS. The reason I'm telling EBS, it will be support only within the available zone. Example, if you created the server in 1A, okay, 1A, the particular same available zone only we can able to attach the EBS value. Okay, fine, that is also fine. But the drawback here, right? In case currently we are maintaining only one. But if you have a multiple 2 servers, we are attaching to the load balancer for high availability, then what you have to write? 2 servers we need to be created in the same available zone. If you create in the same available zone, what is the drawback? If this particular US is to 1A, the available zone side, I mean AWS side, there was some issue. Then you can't able to access, right? Instead of that one, what you can do, if you use the EFS, what you can do, it will be support multiple available zones. It means like if you have it 1A, 1B available zones, you have a Jenkins, so it will be distributed. Understand, right? It will be distributed as well. And also EBS, it will be support only single available zone with single server only. It means like if you create a EBS in single 1A available zone, you can attach only one server. If you have a multiple servers, you can't attach same available zone in the same EBS with a different server. Okay, understand, right? Fine. So that's why we always recommended to use the EFS only. Now here you can see that first what is the step? We need to be create the EFS. For that one, for that one, I'm going to here. You can type it here, EFS. Again, I'm repeating, guys. In case if you are not aware EFS concept, I will highly recommend. Please have a look our Tech with Murali website. Here we have a AWS 0 to Hero series. in this particular AWS 02 Heroes series, I already covered in detail about the EFS. Now you can go here, and then left side you can file systems. Currently we don't have any file systems. The reason this is an empty one. Now you can create a file system, and here very most important, whether you will be use customized one, whether you will be use file system, just you can select the customized one, and here it is asking that name. Example, I'm giving that Jenkins-EFS, and here whether it is region specific or one zone. Depends on our use cases, guys. We whether we'll be go with regional one, it means it will be having that multi-AG. If you go with one age, one zone is nothing but it will be create only single AG. You have to select the specific AG. Okay, here you can select anything, guys, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, whatever. But again, I'm repeating, your server is 1A. EFS, it is not mandatory to create in the 1A only. Okay, it will be having multiple. Now, example, I have selected the regional one. If you want to enable the backup, you can enable it. Depends on our requirement, we'll be do this one. When it comes to the real time, right? This particular Jenkins will be automatically take the backup every 1 day. Depends 1 week or 1 month, depends on the criticality. Keep IA 30 days and transit to archive, that is 90 days. The particular standard one, none. Okay, and enable data rest also, it is highly recommend, you can enable it. And if you want to be attach this particular KMS, you can attach here. Currently we don't have, just ignore it. And if you throughput mode, guys, there are two types. One is enhanced one, bursting. You can select the enhanced one, that is fine. And here we have a elastic one. It is recommended. If you want to be provisional one, you can select here. Depends on our requirement, guys. So you can either go with elastic one or go with the provisional one. Now you can select the advanced settings, general purpose only. That is fine. Now you can, if you want to be add the tags, you can add it here. Example, I'm adding here Jenkins EFS. Okay, now you can click the next, and here you need to select that available zones. What are the available zones you are going to be attached? Now here you can go with this one, infra VPC, and here we can see that 2 available zones. In our case, right, I'm going to select the public subnet. The reason we have created that DB also, Jenkins also we have created the public only. Just select this here. Usually EFS also will be created under app subnets only, but our practice we are creating public subnet. Okay, and then here if you want to be assign the specific IP, you can do that. And here most important, guys, here the particular EFS port number we need to be enable it. We need to be enable the EFS port number. Currently it is attached the default one. Just you can give it a default. Later I will change to specific secret group. We can create this different secret group and we can attach it. Now you can click the next, and then this is common. Just click the next, and then you can create the EFS. Now if you see here, it will take around 10 to 15 seconds to create it. Yeah, it is done. Now you can select this particular one. If you see here, successfully created the particular FSS, it is sorry, EFS, not the FSS, guys, sorry, EFS. EFS is available, and we here it is showcasing that available. And here you can see that what is the AR and what is the performance mode, automatic backup enable or not, encrypted or not, everything you can able to see it here. So total size, how much, and here you can see size in standard one, IA, RK, it will be display monitoring. Here you can see that the specific EFS related monitoring. Okay, throughput utilization, IOPS, throughput bytes, everything can able to see it here. Now you can go with the tags. Here you can see that file system policy. If you have any restriction one, you can see it here. If you want to be create the access points, you can create, or else you can give the default root path. Networking, here you can see that specific security group here. The particular 1A and 1B we have added. If you remember, we created a regional, right? Regional means at least you can select the multiple ages. And here you can see that if you set up any replication with a different region, you can see it here. Currently, we don't have anything, just ignore it. Okay. Now, what we can do, right? I'm going to create the security group here, EC2. Go to the EC2. Why left side, you can go to the security groups, and then here you can create a security group, and here I'm giving the name is Jenkins-EFS-SG. Okay, SG is nothing but security group. And here you need to select your infra VPC, and here you can go to the TARD rule, and here you can see that EFS. Currently we don't have any EFS here. NFS name server, that is a 2049 we have to do. And here guys, I'm giving the 10.70.0.0. The reason, right? Here I'm allowing everything under 10.70 series. Our Jenkins also is under 10.70, right? So it is allowing. If in case if you want to allow specific IP also, you can do it here. But in our case is 10.70. That's why it is good. Okay. Again, I'm repeating NFS, the port number is 2049. We have to enable it. And here I'm selecting the customized one. Our entire network, infra VPC network is 10.70, right? I'm allowing 10.70, the particular port number. That's why here you can give it. Just go here, come down a little bit, create a secret group. Okay, now we have done the secret group as well. Now you can go here, go to networking, manage networking. One second, guys. Go to edit. Go to the next. Oh, we don't see next. Very interesting. Let me see one second. We don't have option to edit. Very interesting. Yeah. Here we can see the manage one. And then what I'm doing here, right? Just select this one. And here I'm adding that Jenkins -EFS -SC. Okay, Jenkins EFS -SC I have added. And then here you can delete that default one. We can add this particular one. Okay. Now you can save this one. And EFS, that is NFS, that is 2049. And then we have added the particular secret group. Okay, to the EFS. Clear, right? Fine. Now here you can see that if you want to do this one, mount via DNS, you can use this particular one. Mount via IP, you can use this particular one. DNS only, just select the mount via DNS, and here you can see that mount -T EFS -TLS, the specific mount path. In case if you are using an NFS client, right, and you can use this particular one, mount -T, that NFS 4. We are using the version NFS 4 version -O. NFS version is 401. R size, write size, and hot timeout 600 seconds. That is of 10 minutes. And transaction. And then here you can see that no reserve port. And then this is our FSH endpoint. Okay, slash. This is the path. And instead of giving this EFS, right, what you have to do, we need to give the varlib Jenkins, so that it will be mounted to the varlib Jenkins. Now you can go here, you'll get some idea. And here you can see that we need to be use this particular one. We need to attach it to the Jenkins server. So here most important, guys. Here most important. Here the Jenkins is running. Jenkins is running. Also data is there. If the Jenkins is running and data is available, if you go and directly mount it, right, whatever existing configuration, right, it won't be stored in the EFS. It won't be stored in the EFS. Then what you have to do? First, you need to create the separate path. You need to mount this particular EFS, and we need to move that whatever Jenkins configuration, everything in the varlib Jenkins, right, that particular entire thing, we need to move to EFS, and then we need to attach it. Okay. Example, in our case, if you are doing first configuration, when you are installing, during that time only you are doing that EFS part, then what you can do, directly can do it using varlib Jenkins. We can give the path. Now, if you go here, again, I'm repeating, guys, don't confuse. In case if you do like your Jenkins already data is available. Already data is available, but if you are trying to do that varlib Jenkins mounted to EFS, the problem is existing data, it won't be stored to EFS. First, what you have to do, you need to migrate that particular existing data to EFS. Okay, using what you can do, you can use that mount to the specific path, different path, not the varlib Jenkins, different path, and then stop the Jenkins, and you can copy that particular varlib Jenkins, whatever data to the particular whatever mounted to the EFS path. Okay, clear, right? Fine. Now here you are good. Now what I'm going to do, example, this Jenkins is first time we are setting up. Okay, I'm going to mount that particular one. I know that this whatever configuration, everything will be gone. Again, I need to be set up. That is fine. Okay, now here you can go with here, and then we need to run this particular command. Go here, and it is already given that particular command as well. Just copy this one, and then here most important, go here. I already log into the Jenkins. You can go to the var lib Jenkins. If you see here we have everything data. Okay. Now what you have to do here, remember guys, once you give this one, here you need to change instead of EFS, which path you are going to be do? I'm going to do the var lib Jenkins. Var lib Jenkins. Now if you see here, whatever valid Jenkins data, it is going to be bound to this particular EFS. Now you can enter. Now if you see here, what is throwing error? Name of server not known. NFS already in progress. Give me 1 second. So earlier we got the error right. The DNS is not resolving. So what you have to do, remember guys, once you create this FSS, right, you have to wait at least 5 minutes. The reason in backend, it needs to be update everything. So that's why earlier if we were getting DNS not resolving. Now if we go here, I'm using NS lookup inside the server. Okay. Lookup and inside the server, right? Now if you see here, it is resolving. It means it is working as we expected. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command again to mount that particular path. Go here, attach, and here you can see that I'm using NFS client, guys. And one more thing, remember guys, NFS client is already installed. That's why you don't require to install it. Default is Amazon Linux, it is automatically installed. If it is not installed, you have to be installed the NFS client, and then you need to use this particular command. Okay. Now here you can, I'm running this, and then here I'm giving that /var lib /Jenkins. Okay. Again, I'm repeating, don't confuse. If you are setting up first time Jenkins with the integration with the EFS, if Jenkins, we don't have any data, you have to follow this command, this process. In case, if it is already existing data inside the Jenkins, don't follow this one. If you follow this one, what will happen, right? It will be reset your entire Jenkins. The reason, right? The reason, whatever going forward data will be stored in the EFS. In case if you require existing data also, what you have to do, you have to mount this particular EFS to the different path and stop the Jenkins. Whatever we have inside the varlib Jenkins data, right? We need to be copied to that particular path, and then you can mount this particular path. Okay, understand that? I will show you later sometime so that you will get some idea. Now here I'm giving that / varlib Jenkins. Now you can enter. Now if you see here, when you enter this, we are not seeing any error. Everything looks good. And here you can give it df-h, and here you can see that, guys, varlib Jenkins. Varlib Jenkins, it is mounted to this particular EFS path. Understand? That is the path is /. Okay, inside the EFS path, it is storing in the root path. Okay, understand that? Now here we have 8, and here you can see that 0 utilization, everything fine. Now earlier we logged into the Jenkins, right? Now if you go and refresh this page, it is throwing the error. Okay, permissions denied issue. Okay, fine. Now you can go here, go to that varlib Jenkins, and here you can see that. If you see here, currently we don't have any data inside the varlib Jenkins. Currently we don't have any data. Earlier it was there, right? Currently we don't have any data. What you have to do now, you can go ahead and install it. Yum install Jenkins. As I said, if you set up right, it will be gone. Okay. Now it is already existing. Let me do one thing. Yum remove Jenkins -y. Now it is going to be uninstall it. Yeah, it is done. Now if you see here, currently we don't have, yeah. Now I'm using yum install Jenkins -y. Now you can see it here. It is going to be installed. Okay, super. And then I'm using systemctl enable Jenkins. The reason you need to be restarted automatically. Okay, systemctl. If someone is rebooted, right, automatically need to be up and running this Jenkins. That's why you have to be enable systemctl restart Jenkins. Now you can enter. Now it is wait for a few seconds. It is going to be start the particular Jenkins. Okay. Meanwhile, if you go here, let me see it. Yeah, we are getting 502. The reason the Jenkins is not running, right? That's why you are getting the 502. If you go and check it inside the load balancer, the target groups, it is showcasing that unhealthy. That's why you are getting that 502. Yeah, now it is restarted. Systemctl status Jenkins. Now if you see here, the Jenkins is also running fine. Now if you go and hit this one, now here you are able to see the Jenkins. You are able to see the Jenkins. Again, as I said, right, if you integrate with Jenkins, again it will be, we have to be set up from scratch. Now you can go here, integrate with EFS, you have to be set up again. Okay, now you can go here. Now you can go here. What I'm going to do, use the cat command to see the password. And here you can see that this is our default password. Now you can go here, paste here, and then continue. Okay. Now suggest the plugins. Now what I'm going to do here, right? Yeah, it is going on. Wait for a few seconds, it is going to be installed. Remember, whatever configuration, right? Now everything is storing in the EFS. If someone is deleted the server also, we don't want to worry. We can easy to mount that particular path. Wait for a few seconds, guys. It is going to be installed. Now here again asking, I'm giving that mail ID, this one, just continue with the save and continue. Remember, in the real time, we always integrate with AD, Active Directory, but our practice purpose, just initially I'm setting up the credentials. Okay, saves and finish, start the Jenkins. Jenkins is started. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the new Jenkins, new item. Just I'm creating the sample project, guys, for understanding purpose. Okay. Yeah, it is going on. Now you can save this one. Okay, super. Now if you see here, we have installed and we have configured. If you go and check it here, we have done this particular one. And then you can refresh this page. Earlier it was 6 KB, right? Let's see if we increase the size, or it will take little bit time to increase, guys. You can ignore it. Wait for a few seconds so that it will become here. Okay. Now we have integrated. Now someone is uninstalled the Jenkins, or someone is deleted the server. The data will be existing in this particular FSH path. Understand, right? Now what I will do, wantonly, I will be uninstall the Jenkins. If you see here, the data is available and also it is mounted to this particular path, varlib Jenkins. That is fine. Now what I am going to do, I will be uninstall the Jenkins. Okay. Now if we go here, wantonly I am going to uninstall it. M remove -y. Sorry, M remove Jenkins, guys. You have to give the Jenkins. Remove Jenkins -y, it is going to be uninstalled. If you see here, it is uninstall the Jenkins. Okay, awesome, super. Now what is the next one? Now install Jenkins. I'm installing the Jenkins -y. Now if you see here, it is going to be installed. It is going to be installed. Now what you have to do? Once installation, you have to be enable that and you have to be restart the Jenkins. Now we will be see it whether the data will be existing or not. Okay. Now if you go here, systemctl, guys, not systemctl enable Jenkins. Now enter. Now it is created, enable that one. Now what I'm going to do, systemctl restart Jenkins. Now enter. If you see here, Jenkins is installed and we have enabled it and we are restarted the Jenkins. Well and good, super. Now we wanted to see that whether the data, whatever we have configured the Jenkins, okay, whatever we have created the sample job, everything should be exist. The reason, and if you see here, if you go here, df-h, here you can see that varlib Jenkins. Okay, now what I'm going to do, now here you can do that systemctl status. Just I'm checking the status, guys, first, whether Jenkins is running or not. If you see here, Jenkins is running, and if you go and check it in another tab, okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going here, jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. If you observe here, it is asking the login page directly. If you go here, Murali, and if you go here, password also Murali. Now if you see here, the data exists and also you're able to see that Jenkins credentials. I'm able to log in, and also I'm able to see the job as well. Understand, right? What is the advantage of using? If someone is uninstalled the Jenkins, if someone is deleted the server also, we don't want to be worried. That data will be existing the EFS. Okay, we can again install the Jenkins. We can mount that particular part through this particular Jenkins. And one more advantage of using EFS, right? If you have two different Jenkins jobs, Jenkins servers, if you example you have two servers, in the particular two servers you have installed the Jenkins, you can mount same path to the two different you can mount this particular same EFS to the two different jobs, guys, two different servers. What I'm to say, like, currently we have one server. Okay, we have another server as well. For high availability, we wanted to maintain another server. We need to be create the another server. There also you have installed the Jenkins. What you can do, same EFS path you can mount to that another server as well. Now, if you modify, if you do the modification in the server 1, it is automatically reflected to server 2. If you do some changes in the server 2, automatically it will reflect to the server 1, whatever you mounted the path. Example, varlib Jenkins. Okay, similar for any path, guys. Example, I have showcased that to maintain the persistent data, I have showcased that this particular Jenkins. Okay, understand that? Clear, right? Any questions? Now you got some idea. Guys, one of the most important in interview level also. So this is the process of maintaining the persistent data. Similar, guys, in case if something happen, it is gone, you need to build a new server and you need to be restore it. What you can do, just create the new server and then install the Jenkins, and then already we have a EFS, right? You can mount the particular path to valid Jenkins, whatever inside the EFS, whatever data, existing data, right? Everything it is available inside that particular Jenkins after mounted. Okay. Example, I have showcased that the particular Jenkins is running fine, and also I'm able to log in and using my credentials, because the credentials of the Murali, everything is stored in the EFS only, and also whatever I have created the Jenkins job, everything is available. Okay, I haven't missed any data. Okay, clear, right? And also I will show you later, in case if it is already existing data in the Jenkins, how do we mount? We can see that. Currently what we did, brand new Jenkins, during that time we have set up the set up the EFS. But some of the organizations, right, initially they may forgot to mount the particular path that Jenkins, inside the Jenkins we have a data, everything. Then how do we mount to the EFS? As I said, EFS, if you mount now, whatever going forward data, it will be stored, not the existing data. Now what you have to do, first you have to be mount to the different path. We need to stop the Jenkins. We need to copy that particular value Jenkins, whatever files is available inside the particular mount path, and then what we'll do, will be again install the Jenkins. We will be mount the particular one. Okay, understand, right? Clear, right? I will show you later sometime so that you will get some idea. And one of the most important question in the interview level, hey Murali, can you please explain how do you install a Jenkins? If you say example, hey Murali, hey, I have installed a Jenkins inside the EC2 instance, then how do we maintain the persistent data? Example, someone is deleted the server, someone is deleted the Jenkins. What will happen? Will you lose that data? How do you achieve this one? Then you have to tell, there are two options, guys. Either we can go with EBS and EFS, but EBS, the problem is it is a single available zone specific, and you can attach only single server. But if you go with EFS, right, it is shared one. It means single EFS, we can attach the multiple servers and with multiple different available zones as well. And we need to add the particular networking level. What are the subnets you need to be added? Understand, right? Clear, right? Any questions now? One of the most important, again repeating, one of the most important question in interview level you should be aware of. And also, just I can recap what we did. Entire one, we have created that server, we have installed the Jenkins, we have access using port IP address port number, but that is not recommended. That's why we set up that using jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in, we are able to access it. To maintain the persistent data, we have created the EFS, and then we mounted that particular EFS to the varlib Jenkins, and then whatever setuping in going forward, right, everything storing the EFS, and also have uninstall one LA, and then install again, and mount path already existing, right? So we did this one. And one more thing is I forgot to explain here. Here we did, right, we mounted this particular one. If someone is rebooted the server, what is happened, right? again you have to come here, log into the server, and you need to be mounted. Instead of that one, if you want to be set up that whatever you mounted this particular path, right, df-h, whatever you mounted this particular path permanently, what you have to do, you need to define inside the etc fs tab. If you remember, if you want to be mount a persistent mount, right, the particular one, you have to go to the inside etc fs tab. There we need to be defined this particular one. Example, I'm going here. Remember, this is one of the most important. If you're not defining inside that fs tab, right, what is the problem? If someone is rebooted, again you have to log into that and you have to be mount this particular one. If you set up inside the fs tab, here insert mode, if you set up here, right, you don't require even though someone is rebooted, right, the mount path will be existing. Now if you go here, just copy this one and then you can paste here. But the thing is, we need to be change our this one DNS name. Okay, now you can go here. If you see here, the particular what is that? EFS DNS name colon. What is the EFS home directory we gave, right, when you are mounting? That is a slash, and then valid Jenkins our path, and NFS for, right, we are using, and the default no fail netdev 00. You can give it. Okay, now you can save this one. Now we done this one. Now if you go here, if someone is rebooted the server, example, I'm giving one thing, mount-a, you can run this command. It will be display if you have any errors in the inside the fs tab. Okay, currently we don't have, because we set up everything perfect. Okay, fine. Now if someone is rebooted the server, even if you rebooted the server, right, the particular whatever you set up that fs tab, this particular one valid Jenkins, it will be there. It won't be gone. Okay, if you're not defined inside the fs tab, if someone is rebooted the server, the particular mount path will be gone. Again, you need to be mounted again, guys. You need to be again mounted. Okay, understand, right? Not only this Jenkins, anywhere, anything, we always recommend it to inside the fs tab. We need to be define that particular entry so that even someone is rebooted, it will be available. Clear, right? Fine. Any questions? Now we are going to discussing about mount existing Jenkins data on Amazon EFS via NFS. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here we have a DevOps 0 to Hero series day 15. I already written the documentation as well here. Here you have to remember one thing, guys. If you remember earlier, we have installed the Jenkins and also we mounted that particular EFS path when you are setting up first time. But the thing is, here in this video, the Jenkins data is already existing. Now we need to be mounted. If you directly mount, right, what is the problem? Whatever going forward data, it will be stored in the EFS, but existing data you will be lost. It won't be stored. It is not a direct process to what I mean to say, like mount that existing data through EFS. Then what you have to do, you need to take the backup and we need to copy that particular backup to the EFS, and then we need to mount that particular new EFS, whatever EFS data, right, to the varlib Jenkins. I am going to show you so that you will get some idea. So one of the most important, guys, and you may ask question, Murali, usually in the real time, if they are setting up Jenkins, during that time only they will be use the EFS, right? Example, EFS or EBS. Yes, correct. The thing is, some project, example, one of the project, they may forget it to, initially they may forget it to set up the TFS or EBS to maintain the persistent data. So now they got some idea, if something happened, right, the particular server, we will lose the data. So instead of that one, what you can do, their organization project requested us to, manager requested us to work on this particular one. So how do we do exactly, we can say, so that you will get some idea. For that one, right, here I have created two servers, right? Old Jenkins is running in techworldwithmurali.in, and here you can see that here we have two jobs, Maven project and sample project, and also we have Murali user. I logged in this particular one. Okay. Second one, new Jenkins I have created, and also I have connected this particular Jenkins, new Jenkins server. Here I have installed the Java 17. I have installed the Jenkins, but I haven't started. If you see here, Jenkins -1 version, and here you can see that Jenkins is installed 2.5.4.1. in older Jenkins also same version only. Okay, now what I am going to do now, Here I have written the documentation step by step. We can see that so that you will get some idea. First of all, we need to create the EFS. We need to create the EFS. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to here and here I'm in the EFS North Virginia. Create a EFS and here you can select that customized one, and then I'm giving here Jenkins-EFS. Now you can go to the regional, and here I'm selecting the I'm not taking the backup, and everything's fine. Just go here, and if you want you can add that particular tag as well. I'm adding the tag here, and you can add it here, and then click the next. And here most important, my Jenkins is running in the infra VPC. So I'm in this particular EFS also I'm going to create in the infra VPC only. In case if you create a different VPC, right, what you have to do, you should be set up the connectivity, either VPC pairing, TGW, transit VPC. Okay, then only it will be communicate. Okay, now here I'm creating. And one more thing, remember, when you create any EFS, usually we'll be creating the app subnet or data subnet, depends on our required. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the public subnet, our practice purpose. In real time, we won't be creating the public subnet, guys. Okay. Now I'm selecting the public subnet, and here we already created a Jenkins-EFS-SE, right? If you remember earlier, we have created the in there we added the port number 2049. Okay. I'm adding the same security group only. In case if you are not aware, please have a look previous video so that you will get some idea. And here we have defined that. Now you can click the next, and create this one. So it will create immediately, but DNS resolution, it will take around 3 to 5 minutes. You have to wait for the particular one. If you see here, it is created. Now if you go here, click this one, and here we have a DNS name. Just copy this particular DNS name. I'm going to the server one, and here you can see old Jenkins. Okay, NS lookup, and then here you can give this particular one. It will throw like this. Okay, server cannot find. You have to be wait for 3 to 5 minutes to resolve this particular one. We can wait for this. Meanwhile, you can go here documentation, and here you can see that second thing, you have to install the NFS client in the particular older Jenkins and also newer Jenkins as well. Here you have to remember, when you use the Amazon Linux, default NFS client is already installed. If you go here, example, I'm going to use this particular command, install nfs-utils. Now you can run this particular command, and here you can see that the particular package is already installed. Okay, same thing for newer Jenkins also, it is already there. That's why it is showcasing that already installed. Understand that? Okay, fine. Now go to the older one, and here whatever steps I'm going to showcase, right, everything is older one only. Only thing is, once we mounted everything, take the backup and copy to the particular one to the EFS, everything is done, then we'll be mount to that particular path to the newer Jenkins. Okay, now here I'm going to create the one directory. Example, inside the MNT directory, I'm going to create the Jenkins-EFS. Okay, Jenkins-EFS. Now you can copy this one. You can go here in the older Jenkins, guys. You have to run this particular command. Okay, now you can run this command. mkdir-p is nothing parent directory. Inside the MNT, we have a Jenkins_home. Now you can enter this one, and you can go and verify here MNT. Okay, Jenkins_home. Here you can see that currently we have empty. Just we have created the directory. Okay, super. This part is clear, right? What is the next command? I'm going to mount this particular EFS path, and wait for 1 second. We can mount it. So for that one, you can go to the EFS, and here you can select the specific EFS. Currently I have select this one, and you can click the attach, and here you can see that we have a EFS mount helper. Using this one, you can do that. Second option is using NFS client. Usually highly recommend we always use the NFS only, and here you can see that sudo mount-t. NFS version is 4, right? 4-o, NFS version 401, R size, W size, and hot timeout 600 seconds means 10 minutes, and this one, and the specific DNS name, and then here slash, and here most important, instead of giving that EFS, right, what you have to do, here you need to give the /MNT/Jenkins_home. If you go here also we define that particular same thing. Just copy this one. Instead of EFS, you need to define this particular path. In our case is MNT/Jenkins_home. Okay, now what I'm going to do, now you can go here, go to the older Jenkins, and then you can click this one. Now if you see here, it is completed. Wait for 1 second. It is going to be complete. Yeah, if it's done. If you go and check it here, df-h, here you can see that it is mounted. This is the temporary mount only. That's why I'm not going to set up the FS tab, because once we copy this particular data to this particular mnt underscore Jenkins, mnt/Jenkins underscore EFS, now whatever data is available will be mount to the new Jenkins server, so that in the new Jenkins server, the data will be there. Okay. Understand right? That's why I'm going to do that. In case if you want to do, you can inside the etc fs tab, we can directly define this particular one, fs tab name and the slash the particular mount path nfs4 default netdev 00. Okay. Now you can define that one. Now we need to migrate the Jenkins data. For that one, you can stop the Jenkins. First of all, you have to stop the Jenkins. Again, I'm repeating here, Jenkins.techworldwithmurali, we have a Maven project, sample project, and also we have using Murali user, we are able to connect it. Once we migrated to new server, same user credentials, we can access it. I will show you. Okay. Now here you can see that stop the Jenkins. For that one, you can go here in that systemctl status. First, you can check the status Jenkins, and here you can see that it is running. Now I'm going to stop it. Systemctl stop Jenkins. Now you can enter here. Now if you see here, Jenkins is stopped. I'm again checking here status. It is showcasing that inactive. Inactive means the particular Jenkins is stopped state. Clear, right? Any questions now? This part is clear. Now for the safer side, right? Highly recommended to take the backup. But the thing is, what we are going to do? We are going to be mount to the different server, right? Once we take the backup, we are going to mount to the newer Jenkins. So we don't require this backup. If you want, you can take it. Okay. Now next one is whatever we have this particular varlib Jenkins or varlib Jenkins dot backup, whatever we take the backup, if we take the particular one, whatever inside this particular files, what we are going to do, we are going to be copy to mnt/Jenkins underscore EFS. Remember this particular mnt/Jenkins underscore EFS, it is copied to, it is mounted to EFS. It is mounted to EFS. Now what is happening, right? Whatever R recursively, P means whatever permissions it will be copy the same permissions only, and whatever we have inside this varlib Jenkins, the particular files, right? Everything is going to be copied to this particular /mnt/Jenkins underscore EFS. Now you can copy this one. Now you can go here. Now you can run this particular sudo cp -rp, the specific one. If you see here, now here you have to remember, guys, not the backup, because we haven't taken the backup, right? Just give the varlib Jenkins. Varlib Jenkins, we are going to be copied to mnt/Jenkins. Now you can enter here. Now it is going to be copied. Remember, when you are copying this one, you have to stop the Jenkins. If you are not stop the Jenkins, right, what will happen, right? You will be lose the data, because when you are copying, it will be copied. That is fine. But any new data, right, the data will be lost. Okay, that's why highly recommended to stop the Jenkins. Now it is going to be copied, because if there are a lot of files, right, that's why it will take little bit time. We have to wait for couple of minutes. Understand, right? Now if you see here, copy is completed. I'm inside that let me check it, pwd. I'm inside this particular mnt Jenkins underscore EFS only. Now you can give the ll command. Why it is not copied? Let me do one thing. Let me copy this again. Yeah, after copied, wait for few seconds. It is copied, and here you can see that inside this particular, if you go here, inside this particular mnt/Jenkins underscore home, the data, whatever we have, everything is copied. Okay, inside the varlib Jenkins, it is copied to /mnt/Jenkins underscore EFS. Okay, this part is clear, right? Okay, super. What is the next one? Now, here most important, mount to the as a Jenkins home directory. Here most important, this particular fourth step, right? Where we need to do it in the new Jenkins server. Okay, we need to do it in the new Jenkins server. The reason, right? Remember, guys, I'm not touching the same server. If you do this, right, if something happen, it will be collapse everything. That's why highly recommend create a new server, install the Jenkins, and we can mount this particular path. Here you can see that in the Jenkins server, the particular newer Jenkins. If we go here, we already installed the Jenkins. Okay, but I haven't started. Don't start it when you are migrating. Okay, just install the Jenkins. If you go here, systemctl Jenkins, And here you can see that it is stopped state. And also if you go and check it here, right, var lib Jenkins, and here you can see that the data will be 0 only. We don't have any data here. Okay. Now this part is clear. Now what you have to do? Go here, go to here, just copy this particular command only again, and then here what you have to do? Here what you have to do? Here you need to give it instead of EFS, right? You have to give it your var lib Jenkins. Var lib Jenkins. Remember var lib Jenkins. Earlier in the older one, I have mounted the data is available inside this inside this particular mnt/Jenkins underscore home. And also you can see it here, df-h, whatever we have data here, everything stored it inside the EFS only. EFS only, okay? EFS only, understand, right? So now what we have to do, we created the new server. Now whatever data inside the EFS, right? I'm going to run this command in the new Jenkins. Now if you see here, now what will happen? Whatever available inside the EFS, everything will be copied to this particular var lib Jenkins. If you go here, now you can go here. Now you can run this particular one, enter. Now I'm going to run this one. Yeah, it is done. And you can go ahead and check this df-h. It is mounted. Okay, super. Now what you have to do? Now you can give the ll command. Wait for few seconds, guys. Initially it will take little bit time to mount. It may take 10 to 15 seconds. You have to be wait for that time. Okay. Now what you can do, wait for few seconds. It is not there. What you have to do, you need to restart the Jenkins so that it will be pulled from FSH. Now you can go here, systemctl. After mounted, right, you can restart it. Systemctl, restart Jenkins. Okay, now you can enter here. If you see here, I have restarted the Jenkins. Wait for a few seconds. Now we already mounted, guys. We already mounted that particular var lib Jenkins to the FS tab, the particular EFS. Okay. Now wait for a few seconds. I can give it ll command. Still we are getting some issue. Let me check it this. journal-xe. Copy this. Starting the Jenkins. What exactly error? We are not seeing setting down. Classer Jenkins.service main. Let me systemctl stop Jenkins. It is stopping the Jenkins now. So it is showcasing the activating. Okay, what we can do, we set up the df-h, right? df-h we mounted. Will be set up permanently, and we can restart the Jenkins server, that new Jenkins server. Let's see. It looks like it is stuck somewhere. That's why we are seeing that error. Okay. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to this etc fs tab, the particular path. Okay. Now you can copy this one. You can go to this etc, and here you can see that fs tab, and go to the inside this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to define this particular path as well, permanently set up. Here remember, guys, this is our EFS DNS name, var lib Jenkins, our Jenkins, and then here you can see that NFS for the default everything. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I have saved this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to reboot the server, guys. That particular whatever running Jenkins right after restarted, it is showcasing the activating. It looks like somewhere it is stuck. What we can do, we can reboot that one. Let's see if it is resolve the issue or not. Okay. If it is not resolved, we can have a look that what exactly facing the issue. Okay. Yeah, I have rebooted. If you reboot it, right, here it will be disconnect. Wait for a few seconds so that we can able to connect this particular server. Yeah, it is going on. Now still not yet connected. Usually it will take 15 seconds to 30 seconds, guys, to come up that server again. Especially Linux is 30 seconds maximum, but Windows it may take a little bit time. Wait for a few seconds, still it is going on. Yeah, still you can click this. Still not yet up. I have connected the server, and then now you can go to varlib Jenkins, and first we can verify whether it is mounted or not. Varlib Jenkins, and here you can see that everything is available. And how do we check whether it is mounted or not? First thing, whether it is default configuration or whether it is mounted or not. First thing, right? You can go to the jobs. In this particular jobs, you can able to see it here. Earlier EFS, right? We have a 2 jobs. Those 2 jobs, it came to the new Jenkins as well. Okay. And also you can go to users as well. And users also, in the users also, here we have a Murali user. If you see here, it means we have mounted that particular one. In the new Jenkins, we have everything. Whatever we have existing, right? Everything is available in the new Jenkins. And also you can go ahead and check it. Systemctl status Jenkins. First you can check the status here. It is showcasing that inactive. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start this particular one. Sometimes guys, it will be stuck. So what you have to do, you need to reboot the server. It will be set everything. Okay. Now here I'm starting this particular Jenkins. Let's say now this fine, it's going on. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, still it's showcasing that error. Let me check it. Configuration is fine, guys. Maybe some permissions issues. Let me see that one. Java threshold, varlib, everything looks good. I don't see much error here. You can give the -L. Okay, it is still showcasing that activating, guys. Okay, Jenkins. Okay, started initialization. Initialization done, but still it is throwing the error. That configuration, whatever we have, right, everything's copied, guys. That is fine, but it is not able to start the particular Jenkins. Let me see it once. Give the LL command. If you see here, it is running the Jenkins. Okay. Now we can check the permissions between these two, guys. Varlib Jenkins. In this, I'm checking in the older one. And if you see here you can see that it is running the Jenkins. Everything looks good. Everything running in the Jenkins user, Jenkins only group. And here also same. I don't see any. One second. Now we can go here, give the LL command, and we can check it here. I don't see any permission issues, guys. Everything looks good. Okay, but still it is not running, right? Wait for a few seconds. Still why it is not running. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up that enable this particular service, systemctl enable. Now I have done this one. Even someone is rebooted, right? Automatically it will start. Systemctl. Let me do journal controller. Journal -u -f. I'm giving that. -f means it will give that live logs. What exactly happening? We can check it here. Class loaders fine. Jenkins main process is shutting down. Why it is shutting down? Do stop. I don't see any error here. Why it is stopping? Jenkins service failed. Jenkins service hold on over the scheduling restart. Stop the Jenkins continuation starting from this particular war. Why it is taking that war? Okay, valid Jenkins failed boot. Okay. Okay, varlib Jenkins. You have a C Jenkins war file. Okay, started. Everything looks, guys. I don't see any issue. Let me check it. After thoroughly review that journal logs, okay, this particular one, let me show you this one, journal ctl-u Jenkins -f. So I got to know here we are seeing the permission issue. If you see here, this particular varlib Jenkins q.xml file, here we are getting the permission denied. Okay, this is the reason, right? This is causing the particular fail to create the temporary file. That's why Jenkins is still showcasing that creating state. Now, after we see this one, I found that in the older Jenkins, if you see here, ls-ld and then varlib Jenkins, here we have a Jenkins user and Jenkins group. But when it comes to here, in our Jenkins, in our new Jenkins, it is running in the root user. It is running in the root user instead of Jenkins user. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this particular one in the new Jenkins ch1 -r Jenkins colon Jenkins, and here I'm giving that. Let me go here back once. Valid, and here you can see that the particular Jenkins ch1 -r Jenkins colon Jenkins, and here I'm giving that directly is Jenkins. Now you can enter here. If you see here, now I'm changing to Jenkins user Jenkins group. Okay. Earlier it was different. It is running in the root user, guys. Now what I did, if you go and check it here, what happened? If you go and check it here, ll command, and here you can see that here you can see the Jenkins. Where is that? Yeah, if you see here, now Jenkins is running in the root user and root group. Okay, instead of running the root user, it is running the Jenkins user and Jenkins group. Okay, clear. Now we can go here. Now what I'm going to do? systemctl stop Jenkins. First I'm stopping the Jenkins. Now I have stopped it. Now I'm going to stop the Jenkins. I'm giving the restart Jenkins. Now enter. Now we can see it. Earlier we got the issue related to permission denied because it is running the root user. We don't have permissions. Now I'm running the Jenkins user. Let's see what is happened. Now if you see here, it is running perfectly. Okay. Now you can go ahead and check it here. systemctl status Jenkins. Okay. Now you can enter here. If you see here, it is showcasing that active running. Understand, right? In case if it is not running, it is first you have to give it systemctl Jenkins -l. It will give some information. Still, if you are not able to see it here, now what you can do, right? You can use journalctl -u, the particular Jenkins -f. It will give the live logs. There we can please have a look thoroughly what exactly issue. I got to know we are getting the permission denied issue, and also later I got to know like the particular older Jenkins is running the Jenkins user and Jenkins group, and newer Jenkins is running the root user root group. The particular root user root group we have a full permissions, but when comes to that other users group and other users, right, we have a limited permission. That's why we are getting the permission denied. Now we change it to the particular, instead of running the root user, we change it to Jenkins user and Jenkins group, and we have restarted the Jenkins. It is working fine. Now we have done this one, right? Now what you can do? Now we can go here. What I'm doing here, I just copy this particular public IP. Now we can access it. First we can access this particular one, :8080. Now if you see here I'm able to accessing using that particular IP : port number. Okay. Now we can see it here. Wait for a few seconds. I'm going to log in this particular, connect to this particular one. It is going on. Okay. 10.70. Wait for a few seconds, guys. Initially set up, right? First time we are accessing. It may take little bits, few seconds. Okay. Now I'm logging with using Murali user and Murali group. Remember, I'm able to log in. Understand, right? How do we migrate existing Jenkins data to new Jenkins server? And here you can see that EFS we have attached. That same EFS we have attached to new Jenkins, and we have restarted. We were seeing that permission related issue, Jenkins user and Jenkins group. We have changed that particular one. We are able to access now. Okay. Now clear, right? Any questions now? Now it is we are able to see it here, and also here we can see that 2 Jenkins jobs. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new Jenkins job here. Okay. Now what you can do, instead of accessing using IP address : port number, right? We need to access using Jenkins.techworldwithmurali. Okay. We will be see that one so that you will get some idea. Okay. Wait for a few seconds. So here you can see that Jenkins -project we have created. Now instead of accessing using IP address : port number, we need to access using Jenkins_Jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. But this one is older one. That's why here you can see Jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. We are getting 502 because older Jenkins we have stopped that one. Now what you have to do in the newer Jenkins, right? This particular newer Jenkins IP address will be attached to the target group so that the traffic it will be go to the newer Jenkins instead of older Jenkins. Okay. For that one, you can come here and you can go to that target group and select this particular Jenkins -tj. And if you see here, currently this is the older Jenkins. It is showcasing the unhealthy. The health check is failed because we have stopped the Jenkins. Now what I'm going to do? Now you can check this one. remove deregister. Deregister means it will be remove from target group, not the remove from Jenkins, not the remove the server guys, just remove from target group. Okay, it won't be delete, just it will be removed from target group. Okay, now we have done this one. It is showcasing the training one. Now what I'm going to do, now you can click the register target, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach the new Jenkins. If you see here, new Jenkins, the port number is 8080 only. Okay, now you can come here, include pending one, and here you can see that now you can click the register pending targets. Now here what you can do, what we did, right, we have added the new Jenkins, we have removed the older Jenkins. Now what you can do, we can access using new Jenkins using jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. If you see here, jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. Understand, right? Here we have added this particular newer Jenkins server in the target group. We remove that existing one. We don't require to do any changes, just remove that server from target group, so that remove the older Jenkins from target group, add the newer Jenkins to the target group. Okay, now we have done this one, and here we can see that we are able to access using jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in. And here you may ask question, Murali, really it is attached the new Jenkins or not? If you go here, Murali, and I'm give the sign in, and in this particular newer one, right, we have created extra Jenkins job. If you see here, extra Jenkins job, it means Jenkins project we have created, right? This particular Jenkins project, it is available. It means this particular whatever Jenkins.techworldwithmurali traffic, it is going to newer Jenkins only. If you see here, here you can see that training means it is going to be delayed. Wait for a few seconds. It is it will remove from here. Okay, understand, right? So this is the process of migrate the existing Jenkins data to EFS, from EFS to create a new server, install the Jenkins. We will be mount to the particular existing EFS to newer one. Whatever existing data, the Jenkins configuration, everything is available in the newer Jenkins. And here you have to remember one thing, guys. We done the setup, well and good, super awesome. The thing is, whatever we are going to do this particular process, we need to raise the ICR or CO, change request. CR, we can call it as CR. Okay, change request. Why we need to do? We need to inform to the everyone, application team, developers, QA team, everyone. Hey, we are going to be do some changes in the Jenkins. So it may take, it will take a little bit time. Example, it may take 3 hours, 6 hours. It depends on that particular setup, everything. It will take. We are going to be migrate that existing Jenkins data to the EFS. We have to inform them. So they are also aware of during that time, they won't do any deployments. Otherwise, if you're not informed and if you're doing backend, right, what is the problem? They will be raised the ticket. Hey, my Jenkins is not accessing my, I'm trying to accessing the Jenkins. I'm not able to access it. Everything. I'm not able to see the Jenkins jobs as well. I'm getting that 502 error. Everything. They will be raised the multiple tickets. Okay, it is unnecessary. That's why always, if you're doing any changes in the Jenkins, especially, we will be raise the ICR as CO, and will be informed to everyone. Hey, we are going to implement this one. So on time, the particular Jenkins will be down specific time, so that they won't be raised the ticket, and also they will be aware of, okay, this during this time the particular Jenkins will be down. Okay, understand, right? Understand, right? Any questions? Now you got some idea, right? One of the most important question in interview level, they may ask question, Murali, we have a Jenkins, we have installed the Jenkins in the EC2 instance. How do we take the backup? How do we take the restore? How do we take the backup? How do we restore the data if something happened? Same process only. Okay, we mounted to the EFS. We mounted to the EFS. Now what we can do? This particular EFS will be frequently will be take the backup using AWS backup. We have a AWS backup feature. There will be take the backup every 1 day, every 1 week, every 1 month, every 2 months. It depends on the criticality of the particular Jenkins. Criticality of the particular Jenkins. Understand, right? And one more thing, remember, usually in the real time, we'll be having only single Jenkins job to maintain for all the environment. Okay, example, this one. Okay, this particular one will be installed in the infra VPC. The particular infra VPC having the connectivity to all the lower environment and upper environment. Example, dev, test, QA, UAT, pre-prod, production, everything will be having access. We'll be create the Jenkins jobs in the Jenkins install in the infra VPC, and we'll be create the Jenkins jobs From here, if we trigger, we'll be set up that authentication using example IAM role, and it will be authenticate to the destination servers. It will be deploy the application. That is the one option. Some of the organization, instead of maintaining the single infra VP, single Jenkins in the infra VPC, what they will do, they will be maintain that specific environment wise. Example, Jenkins-dev. Okay, this is the one of the thing they will be installing the dev environment. For that test one, example test. Okay, and in case if we have UAT, they will be having UAT. Okay, but usually 99% of the organization they will be maintain single Jenkins only. That is in the infra VPC. They will be maintain this integration everything. And if you want to be deploying the dev test QA UAT prepare, will be deploy easily managing single Jenkins. Okay, understand it? Very rare cases. Some of the organization they may maintain like individual Jenkins for each and every environment instead of maintaining the single Jenkins. Okay, and one more thing, if Jenkins is down, it won't be impact any applications. Only thing is, if they are trying to deploy any new application, right? They don't have access to. I mean, it will be delay. It means they can't access the Jenkins, so it may little bit delay to deploy the application. Alternate, we can do that. Example, if they have image ID, we can go directly to the EKS cluster. If they are deploying, we will be update that particular image ID. So it will be deployed. That is also one option. Okay. But the thing is, if Jenkins is down, it won't be much impact. But over like using this particular Jenkins, it will be impact internal only. Okay. Either developer, QA team, whoever accessing their particular one, if they are planning to deploy the application through Jenkins, they can't until the particular Jenkins is up and running. Clear, right? Any questions now? Yeah, we can see that high level points, and EFS support the multi-agent concurrent mounts, ideal for high availability, and DNS name for the specific one. And the mount for EFS, we can monitor the particular EFS related in the CloudWatch, and we can take the backup using, as I said, we can use the AWS backup, create a manual snapshot, whatever you want, you can do that, and verify the ownership, whether we have this particular one. Earlier, we don't have this particular ownership, right? It was running the root user. That's why we got that particular error. After we checked journal CTL-U use the particular service name -f, the particular one, we found that we are getting the permission issue. Then we changed it to ownership and we have restarted the Jenkins. It is working fine. Just we can recap what we did. We have created the new Jenkins. There we have installed the Jenkins, Java and Jenkins, and we haven't started guys. Just we have installed the Jenkins. And the older version, in the older Jenkins, we have installed that NFS utils if it doesn't exist. In our case, Amazon NX2 we are using. It is already installed, so we don't require. And the next one, right? We have created the one mount path, and then the particular mount path we have attached to the EFS, whatever created the new EFS, and then we have copied that particular whatever varlib Jenkins data, right? We copy to the particular mnt/Jenkins_home. Before going to do, highly recommend to stop the Jenkins. The reason, right? If you not stop any new data, you will be lost it. That's why I highly recommend we will be stop the Jenkins and we'll be copy that to the mnt Jenkins_home. And then next step, right? In the new Jenkins, we have as I said, we have already installed the Jenkins and we have mounted the particular path to whatever / here valid Jenkins we did, and then in we set up that etc fs tab as well. So if someone is rebooted also, the particular mount path will be exist. Okay, clear, right? Here one thing we got the issue. The particular Jenkins should be running in the Jenkins user and Jenkins group instead of root user and root group. So what we did, we changed the ch1-r Jenkins to that particular Jenkins directory, and we have started the Jenkins. It is working fine. Clear, right? Any questions? And here you have to remember two different cases. When you are setting up first time installation Jenkins and mount the particular EFS, it is simple. But when if it is already existing, already Jenkins running, but we haven't set up that any EFS, you are going to set up that EFS. Okay. Now what you have to do, you need to take the backup, you need to restore it, and then we need to mount the particular EFS to the new Jenkins. Okay. Highly recommend, try to create a new server, and then you have to mount it instead of existing one. Something happened in the existing, right? It is very difficult to troubleshoot, and also you'll be lost the data. That is the reason highly recommend create a new one. It is better option. Clear, right? Any questions?
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Tech World with Murali website. In this website, I already publish all the DevOps related courses. Here we have a DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Helm, AWS networking, DevOps hands-on project. Here we have 1 month, 6 months, 1 year lifetime access available. If you want, you can enroll here. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.